Decluttering your house won't necessarily de-stress your life. Alright, before you freak out and say, well, but everybody knows decluttering will de-stress you, well, no, not everybody does know that. Here's the thing. There is a certain amount of clutter that certain people are willing to have around them. Yeah. So I am not here to tell you that you need to get rid of everything and live with one spork and one hanger because that's what will make you happy. Because for some people that will actually make them so stressed out, it's not even funny. Do not live your life the way that some Better Living House magazine editor will tell you you should live your life. Live your life the way that you feel that you should live your life. You should be able to walk into a room and feel like, this room makes me feel happy. Now, if you're wondering, well, how much clutter does that mean I should have? Well, look around your room. Does your room make you feel anxious? Does the amount of stuff in that room make you question how much stuff is in that room? If these things don't pass that test, then maybe you have too much clutter. If they do pass that test and you are all right with them, then there's the next test, and that is it unhealthy? You're questioning the unhealthy part. Yes, there are some people who can happily live with a ton of stuff around them, like hoarders and that sort of thing, where it doesn't bother them, but if you look around and you see that there are unhealthy things around you, bugs, pests, those sort of things, living in your clutter, your clutter isn't clutter. That's a whole new world of things. That means that you really should consider decluttering. Getting rid of what you actually aren't using. And that's a big thing. If you are using it, don't get rid of it. That's silly. But make sure that your decluttering works for you. It has to be the amount of stuff that is correct for you. Like I've said before in my other videos, a lot of this people would say, oh, that's way too much stuff. I couldn't live with that. Okay, that's fine. Cool. You do not have to. You should live with what is good for you and only what is good for you, and don't worry about what other people who do not live with you think that you should be living with, unless it's unhealthy. Then you might want to look at that and say, hey, you're right. There are, spiders and mites and all those sort of things living in the items that I have. That's a problem. That's a big problem. Some people do not like clutter because they don't want to dust it. Guess what? That's absolutely fine. Valid reason not to have clutter around. It's a valid reason not to have stuff like this around if you don't want to dust it, and that is fine. But don't force your opinion on how somebody else should live and how much clutter somebody else should have in their house on somebody else, unless you're living with them. I think I'm just repeating myself. And I've made this video sort of like over and over again simply because this is one of those things I get all the time. Where people are like, I don't want any clutter in my house, but my spouse thinks that it's alright. You need to find a happy compromise. You need to find that spot where there is the right balance. Because some people think of clutter as in, it's all the stuff that's out, yet when you look in their drawers are so disorganized it's not even funny. Clutter is more than just all the stuff that's out. Clutter is also in those drawers. It's everywhere. So yeah, look at those things and say to yourself, what works, what doesn't work, what is clutter, what am I willing to live with? I personally hate the extreme minimalist where it looks like nobody lives there. Like it's one of those showrooms where nobody has ever set foot or done anything to, and they're just waiting for somebody to decorate that. To me, it looks cold and impersonal, and I hate that. But that's me. And I have to live like the way that I want to live, and that's what I'm telling you. If it works for you, it is not harming anybody, it is healthy for you, then it's fine. You can have more than a spork and a hanger, and live happily with that. And you need to live happily with the people who live with you. Don't just throw their stuff away because you're uncomfortable with it. Come to a happy compromise, and both of you need to compromise on that. So it's something to think about. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Check out these other videos that I pick out just for you. I hope we get to see you again next time.